This is my ultimate Southern Gothic reading list. I feel like it's necessary to explain first what Southern Gothic actually is. It is a 20th century literary genre coming out of America that takes the themes of 18th century Gothic and puts them in an American setting. And what are those themes? They are violence, corruption, spiritual decay, repression, and horror. Where European Gothic is often set in medieval ruins, castles, that kind of thing, Southern Gothic is set in the vestiges of the American South. The ghosts which haunt the spaces in Southern Gothic, which are plantations and small towns, are slavery, poverty, religion. So yeah, that's Southern Gothic. The father of Southern Gothic is William Faulkner, and I'm going to recommend his book Absalom, Absalom. Narrative is told through multiple unreliable perspectives, which makes it destabilizing and a bit frightening. It's about a plantation owner who gradually destroys his family. Carson McCullers' The Heart is a Lonely Hunter is a little bit lighter. It is all about small town life, poverty, decay, but there's also hope there, and it is wonderfully written. Tennessee Williams' A Streetcar Named Desire, you probably studied this at school. It's a play which focuses around this female character, Blanche Dubois, who kind of represents the decay of the American past. Truman Capote's Other Voices, Other Rooms is my favorite genre of fiction. It's a buildings romance, which means it's a coming-of-age novel. It's about a young boy who has to go to a decaying Mississippi mansion to live with his relatives. There is gender fluidity here, there is queer desire, and so if that's something you're interested in, this would be a good option. I love Flannery O'Connor's A Good Man Is Hard to Find, but they are heavy and dark. And they are sort of grotesque. The characters are really evil. You don't like any of them, and there's humor here as well. If you are a bit of a sardonic person and you also enjoy short stories, I would really recommend these. Harry Crew's The Gospel Singer is brutal and unsentimental, about a preacher with a dark past of addiction and childhood illness, and he returns to his hometown and he is treated as a kind of messiah. It contains some pretty classic and horrible Southern Gothic tropes like lynching and a freak show. If you like transgressive texts, you will enjoy this one. But if you thought that was bad, just wait for Cormac McCarthy's Child of God. Extremely violent, and I could compare it maybe to True Detective or Silence of the Lambs. It is about an isolated man who descends into the most degraded of kind of human behaviors, and it's a critique on the essential goodness of the human soul, which is why it's called Child of God, because the main character is like anything but that. Toni Morrison's Beloved is one of my favorite books, and I think it actually is one of the best novels ever written. Hard to explain the narrative of this without spoiling it, but it's set after the Civil War. It's from the perspective of a woman who was born into slavery, and it's about haunting and, again, intergenerational trauma. It is brilliant. If you don't read any of the books on this list, you should read this one. There are so many more books within this I could recommend, like Dorothy Allison's Bastards Out of Carolina. Recently, there's been Demon Copperhead, and there's also Donna Tartt's The Little Friend. I mean, it's a very wide-ranging genre, and I'd love to hear some of your recommendations below because it's not something I specialize in. If you enjoyed this, follow for more art and culture.